Hello everyone, my name is Yvette and I am working with Food Rescue Maine to end wasted food here in Maine, and we need your help. Today we are here to talk about wasting food and how we can stop, but let's start with food. What is food? Why is it important? Food is what you need to live. It's what you eat to help you grow and make you strong. But how does it do that exactly? Well, food has nutrients like vitamins and minerals, and it has energy, and those are all things your body needs to grow big and strong. Who needs food? Well, everyone has to eat food, people, animals, and plants. But how do we get food? Is it easy to get? Does it just magically appear on your plate? Does it fall from the sky? No! So what does it take to make food? It takes good sunlight, water, soil, and farmers' hard work to grow your food. It also takes a lot of money. Money to pay workers, money to package food, money to transport food to stores, money to buy the food at the store. It is very expensive. So, we need food to live, and it's hard to get. It takes natural resources, money, and lots of hard work. Why would we ever waste food? Do we throw away and waste other things that are important to us and really hard to make? Things like your favorite sweatshirt? No, of course not. But guess what? Here in the state of Maine and in the United States, we waste 30 to 40% of all of the food that we produce. How much is that? A lot. If you bought 3 bags of food from the store and accidentally dropped 1 bag on the way to your car, would you be upset? If the pizza you ordered had 3 pieces and 1 was missing, is that a lot? Yes, it is. So why do we waste food? Wasted food happens when we put food in the trash, anytime that the nutrients and energy in the food are not used. That is wasting food. Perfectly good and edible food should always be eaten by people instead of wasting. But what else can you do if you don't want the food? Especially if it got old, damaged, or even went bad. Remember, you don't have to throw it away. Even if it is not good for people to eat, many food scraps can be eaten by animals. Even if it is not good for people or animals to eat, the food scraps still have nutrients and energy. So what can we do with them? We can make compost to feed the nutrients to the soil and plants. So, is there any reason to waste food? No. Food is super valuable, and there is always someone or something that can use the food. People, animals, or compost for the soil and plants. But why? Let's find out what happens to food when it gets thrown in the trash. When we throw away trash, it usually goes in a landfill. A landfill is essentially a giant trash pile where all of the garbage from our homes ends up. Here, in the state of Maine, we make a lot of waste, so we have these landfills scattered all over the state. When we throw food in the trash, it ends up in these landfills, and landfills were not designed to handle food waste. As food rots in the landfill, it releases methane, a powerful greenhouse gas that traps heat in our atmosphere, which makes it a major contributor to global warming. But that's not all. As food breaks down, it also releases a toxic liquid called leachate, which can seep into the soil and contaminate groundwater, the same water that both people and wildlife depend on. Global warming might seem far away, but the effects are already getting very close to home. Polar bears are losing their icy habitats, and right here in Maine, our oceans are getting so warm that our lobsters are struggling to survive. So it is really important to remember that when food gets tossed in the trash, it is not just a little mistake. It is a big environmental problem with very real consequences. Every piece of food we waste adds to it. So now that we know what food is, why it's important, and we also know why it cannot go in the trash. So now let's talk about what you can do to help. Because you can make a difference. Let's start at the very beginning, because ending wasted food starts with making sure you don't have too much on your plate to begin with. Who knows what it takes to build a meal? According to the USDA school lunch requirements, there must be 5 meal components offered. A meat and a meat alternative, a grain, a fruit, a veggie, and milk. In order to make a meal, you need 3 of these components. Can you guess which component you always have to take? A fruit or a vegetable. And let me explain why. Who here likes sports cars? And what does that sports car need to go really fast? It needs gas. Yes, it needs oil and antifreeze, but if you don't have gas, you won't go anywhere. Now, let's pretend your body is that car, and it needs all of these important things to run. It needs protein, water, and grains. But what is the gas for our bodies? Fruits and veggies. They are the best possible fuel you could ever give your body. So now let's look at some examples of full meals. Is this a full meal? Yes. Is this a full meal? No. Is this a full meal? Yes. Is this a full meal? No. Now you have built your meal. So now the first step in ending wasted food is to eat your food and feed your body. So now you fed your body as much as you could, and it is almost time for the bell to ring. So you head to the sorting station, and there is still food on your plate. What is next? Well, that brings us to our next step. If it is packaged, like a bagel or a granola bar, or a piece of fruit like an apple or an orange, you can save it for later. Or if you know you won't eat it, or you just don't want it anymore, it can go in the share basket so that if someone else gets hungry, they have something to eat. If there are still food scraps on your tray, maybe the crust of a sandwich or the last couple bites you can't finish, make sure that they go in the food scraps bin so that the energy and nutrients in that food can feed the soil. But we have to be careful in the sorting station because following these steps means that you are taking steps towards helping the planet and the world where you live and play. So pay very close attention. The first step, put all of your silverware away. Second, empty out all of your liquids. Third, put all of your trash in the bin. Wrappers, plastic, all of your leftover food scraps go in the food scraps bin so that it gets saved to feed the soil. But you have to be very careful because we do not want any trash to get in that food scraps bin. Because if they do, when that food gets composted, the trash will not decompose and could make an animal very sick if they ate it by accident. If you can't eat it, an animal won't be able to either. Fun fact. Did you know that you can also rescue food? If you or your friend are busy talking and forget to drink your milk, take a talking break and finish the milk. You are a food rescue hero. If you have packaged foods that you cannot eat and did not touch, put it in the share basket. You are a food rescue hero. If your classmate is not paying attention and his chew stick fell in the trash, either remind him or grab it yourself and put it in the compost bin. You are a food rescue hero. At home, if your family member is about to throw some food in the trash, let them know what you learned about not wasting food. You are a food rescue hero. Every day, in many ways, you can help rescue food, energy, and nutrients from being wasted in the trash. Now, we have talked a lot about food and how to stop wasting it. We learned that you can make a difference. Your actions can stop wasted food. So now, here is your No More Wasted Food challenge. Every day at school and at home, try to challenge yourself. First, take just the amount of nutritious food that you can eat, and then eat and drink it all. Or save it to eat later. But if you took too much food and did not touch it, put it in the share basket. Share it with other people. If you took too much food and you did touch it or eat part of it, save scraps to give to farmers to feed their animals. If your food is not good for humans or animals to eat, save the food scraps to make compost to feed soil and plants. Can you have no more wasted food? Yes, you can. Feed your body and not the landfill. Now that you know that food should never be wasted and never go in the trash, you are super smart and can help share that information with others. Like who? Your parents? Your neighbors? Your friends? With your help, we can work together and end wasted food in Maine. And maybe even the world. But it all starts with you.